Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my corner of the internet. My name, once again, is Jason, and today we're back with some more Elder Scrolls Arena. Last time, we got to the second floor of the Vault of Gehman. I'm not sure if there will be any more floors than that, but as of now, we definitely know that there is a second floor, and we're currently searching through it for some tablet. And in this episode, I am hoping that we find said tablet, because I just want to be done this dungeon. I want to get to the next story dungeon. You know, it's not that I don't like what I'm playing right now. It's a case of I'm curious to see what the next dungeon is, because like I stated before, it seems like okay, I was like, what is that? It's like a broken pillar. Like I stated before, and I've already gone ahead and I forgot what I was saying. Wow, this is a great start, Jason. Fantastic. You've already forgot what you were saying here. Oh, yes. I mentioned before that I thought maybe I just wanted to get through the game, but I don't think it's necessarily that I want to get through the game. I'm excited to see what comes next. Because I'm thinking about this, I'm like, I'm really curious, like, when I think about it, when I rate what I'm excited for, like on a scale, and I look at, let's say, Daggerfall versus, let's say, seeing Jagar Tharn and what he looks like in this game, my excitement is definitely a lot greater for seeing Jagar Tharn and getting to the end of this game. So maybe, you know, sometimes it's possible for people to think something. They think that they think something for a certain reason, when in actuality, they have very different reasons than what their conscious mind really wants. And I think really for me, I want to see what the next design of the next dungeon is, because I found that the main story dungeons tend to have the most interesting design. By main story dungeons, I mean ones with the pieces of the Staff of Chaos in it, of course. And, oh wait, I'm going north. I don't want to go north. I want to go more south. Let's go back down. And you know, I want to be able to see those. And I think that's where a lot of my pushing forward and really want to see what comes next comes from. It's an excitement for, you know, the game itself. Oh, troll is regenerating. I love that sound. The trolls those sound so nice and creepy and scary. You know, a random thought I had. I don't know. It just occurred to me for some reason. I'm just sitting here going through a dungeon, but yeah, I started thinking about town. Maybe that's because I know that's where I'm going to next. And my thought is, I started to wonder, you know, the townsfolk, do they actually live in the houses, or do they just randomly spawn on the street? Because, you know, I'm always standing there, and then I notice people just start running around. I'm wondering, is it possible for you to basically stand next to a house door and catch a villager on his way out of his house? You know, is that something that is present in the game? Or is it, you know, they just randomly appear around town and then they run around to sort of give this illusion that they're populating a town? Or does each villager actually have a house? Because I'm thinking about that. You have a lot of houses in the cities, but and you also, you know, you have a lot of people, and they all have names unique to their region. And I don't know. I'm just wondering, did the makers of the game put that level of detail into it? Did they actually say, hey, you know what? Let's take Mr. Guy over here and slap him into this house. Or even maybe not into a house, maybe have it randomly assign a house. You know, that way there they didn't handpick who's in each place. But I still think that would be an interesting thought, because the game has certainly surprised me as far as depth goes in many other ways. So it makes me wonder, maybe that's something I could do for another experiment. I can stand outside a guy's door and see who comes out, and if anyone comes out, and then, you know, follow him around town, or make him wait until sundown and see if he goes back into the same house, or if he just disappears. Actually, that's a good way of testing. You catch a guy, you stand in front of him until nighttime and see if he runs away from you, and if he runs, or if he just disappears into thin air. You know, if it's just when nighttime comes, they go, or whatever. You know what? Like I said, I think I might actually make that another side experiment. We'll talk about that a little bit more in, let's say, the eventual video that will come out of that. But for now, let's continue our dungeon crawling. You know, I think I'm just gonna have to go through each and every one of these. Oh my goodness, go away! Every one of these little islands, and really look around and inspect every room to see if I can find a tablet. So let's go ahead and actually turn on light. I was liking the atmosphere, the mood. It was very nice, but you know, I've gotta find that tablet. One thing I like. Oh, I cast light last. I did it again. Basically, I used the quick cast, but it remembered that the last spell I had cast was light, so I kept casting light. What was I saying? I've already forgotten. Oh, man, I'm terrible at this. Yep, can't remember. Oh well. Oh yes, that's what it was. One thing I like about Arena is when the light is not on, for example, and you see like some monsters in the dark. I love that the eyes are like actually glowing red. They don't allow the darkness to really. It affects them, but it doesn't affect them entirely. You know, it lets the game have some, you know, glowing red eyes for you to stare at in the dark to really sort of freak you out. What was that? Am I I'm still invisible, so I don't. Okay, so it must have been something ghostly that was shooting spells at me. Another book. If only I was down here for a book, that would have been great. But I'm not down here for a book, so that doesn't help me at all. I think I've already been through these doors. Yes, I have. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's see. Where are we heading to next? Let's just keep going north. I suspect that the tablet we're looking for is just up north, so we'll just keep going. But yeah, I like the like I said, the red eye thing in the dark. It adds to the atmosphere, and if I recall correctly, I could be recalling wrong, but I don't think that's something that you got in. I don't know. I think the only game that you might get that in would be Daggerfall, because I'm thinking about this. I'm like, Morrowind, I don't think had that same kind of light control. It might have, but I don't think it did. I know that in some of the mods out there, they had the capability to. Whoa. Calm down now. Okay, I'm visible. Some of the mods made it so that you could make swords, for instance, that had like glowing runes on them and that. But I don't think anything in the vanilla game actually had that effect on it. Huh. Sneaky peeky like. And let's renew my shield once again as well. Alright, let's keep going north. Yeah, because let me think about that. And then in Oblivion, I don't recall ever seeing a creature or anything that really had like a glowing eyes or anything. And then in Skyrim, I don't think anything ever actually really got dark enough to really have that cool effect. That's one thing that kind of bothers me, is that you have to pretty much use mods if you want things to be realistically dark. Because I find in the later games, torches and like say light spells become almost completely useless because of how say bright the world is. And that's actually one of the things I really like about Arena, is that, you know, there's darkness. You've got to deal with darkness. Darkness is actually an obstacle for that you really need to think about. Now, there's no torches for you to carry, but you know, at least there's a means to get by or deal with the darkness. And I think that's cool. I like that. Actually, oh yes, I needed a refill. Thank you. I just cast my spell so I won't bother recasting them. Can you shoot a little faster? Thank you. Let's save the game. I haven't saved in a while. That's not good. We'll save this as work. Now, speaking of things I like about Arena, I'm thinking about this right now. What would I say? And you know what? You can feel free to answer these as well. I think I've played enough of the game to be able to pinpoint what my favorite things are about it. And I really should have thought about this before this video so that I could actually give you an accurate list. But let's say off the top of my head, if I had to pick my favorite things about Arena, I would have to say, let's see, you know what, number one, the fact that you can go to every province. I realize that the level of detail is not, we'll say, maxed out, if you will. Like, you can't, you know, it's an older game, right? So the graphics are limited, obviously, and things aren't as handcrafted as they could have been to really, you know, really explore the lore and the world of Tamriel. But just the idea that you can go to every province in Tamriel in Arena, I think that's one of my favorite things about this game. And you know, actually, you know what? On that note, you know, even though you don't, like I said, it doesn't have that totally handcrafted sort of feel that the later games had, and you don't really get to know in deep detail what every single one of the provinces, you know, they have or what they're like, or the lore surrounding each place. I love that even without the use of books, which are introduced in Daggerfall, without the use of books or anything, Arena manages to establish lore just through the gameplay. Basically, Arena, as the, you know, is obviously as the first game in the series, is definitely going to be a stepping stone for the future installments in the series. But I find a lot of things that I've experienced in Arena, you often see referenced later on in the series in various books. Even the dungeons that you visit in later games, because like I mentioned in a previous video, I know that the Labyrinthian is in Skyrim, for instance. And no, I like that. I like that when I would go to some of the towns in Arena where you talk to people about different rumors. Some of the text you got was just, you know, it didn't actually help in the gameplay, but it did help establish the lore. So in that sense, I like the lore that Arena basically established for the rest of the series. Without Arena, I think going forward, the the developers would have had a lot less to draw from. And I think that's kind of what makes the entire Elder Scrolls series kind of cohesive, if you will. Why all the lore sort of feels the same and it feels like it all fits, because it was technically, in very broad strokes, established in Arena. I think that's, yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say. Because I remember there was a book I read in one of the Elder Scrolls games, I can't remember, that talked about the Crystal Tower. I think it was in the Elder Scrolls games. I remember reading a book, I don't remember where, but I'm pretty sure I read a book. I don't know if I'm fabricating memories now. But yes, anyways, it talked about the Crystal Tower. And like I said, there was the Labyrinthian, and a lot of the artifacts that we see in the later games, you know, were originally created and were present in Arena. So, yeah, I'm gonna give props to Arena for being a fantastic, we'll say, base to the entire Elder Scrolls series, and it really deserves more credit than it gets. Huh. I really don't know where I should, let's see, I guess we'll keep heading. I'm gonna go down south. Maybe we'll see something down there. Actually, you know, speaking of giving arena credit. I hear this a lot, and do not take this as a form of hate or casuals and complain like that. No, it's just a simple, we'll say a nitpick, a gripe I have. I hear a lot of people say, you know, oh, I love the Elder Scrolls games. And then when asked, you know, about the different games, it tends to come out that, well, actually I only play or I only like Skyrim. Or sometimes it'll be Skyrim and Oblivion, but no, I can't play any of those. I don't like any of the other games. I don't know. It's to me, it's kind of a bit of, it bothers me because I'm like, why say you're a fan of a series when you only like one or two of the games? Now, if they said, you know, I love Skyrim, I'd be like, you know, that's cool. That's totally fine. Because you can like one game in a series. You don't need to like the whole series. If you like Skyrim, you know, that's awesome because different games are made for different people and different games fit better for different people. Like, I'm sure there's stuff I play on here that there's people that they couldn't care less about. Well, I tend to play a wide variety of games, but, you know, everyone's got their own preferences in that, and that's okay. I just get a little bit annoyed when it's like a false statement. It's like saying, you know, I don't know, you have one book you like, and you're like, I love books. Well, do you like this book? No, I don't read. No, I don't read. It's like, well, then why would you say you like books if you only like one of them? That's all. You know, then again, like I said, I like to do arguments against myself as well because it helps keep me balanced. What if when they say that, they mean they love the world it's in? You know, they love the universe it's in, and you know, they like that aspect of the games, because, you know, even if you haven't played all the other games, you probably get some, you know, hints and alluding to the rest of the world in even, say, games like Skyrim and Oblivion. So, you know, in a way, I could just, you know, stop being you know, a whiny baby that's nitpicking the wording that people uses and be like, well, maybe they just enjoy the world. You know, just how someone might be like, hey, I love Star Wars. I hated the new trilogy, but I love Star Wars, you know. I could be like, well, how could you say like a series if you like hate half of the installments? But, you know, there's books, there's other things as well. They might just like the world and the feel of it. Alright, so I guess I've sort of defeated my own argument there, but still. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop that now. But either way, no, I'm not gonna drop it. Just be honest with your statements and precise. Because, you know, I can tell you what to do because I'm some random guy on the internet, and you should listen to me for that reason. A note to any children watching, do not believe anything I just said. People on the internet are not to be trusted, including me. Why? Because if you trust me, then you might trust someone else. And it's not I'm not saying that I'm untrustworthy, I'm just saying that there are untrustworthy people out there. And you should be leery around anyone, even the people who say they're trustworthy. That got weird. Oh, yes! Alright, tablet's gotta be here. Answer this and pass. I come out of the earth. I am sold in the market. He who buys me cuts off my tail, takes off my suit of silk, and weeps beside me when I am dead. I'm sold in the market. He who buys me cuts off my tail, takes off my suit of silk, and weeps beside me when I'm dead. I don't know! A potato? It's actually not that inaccurate. It's a plant, though. It's my suit of silk. Okay, let's work through this. I come out of the earth. Potatoes come out of the earth. So do carrots. I am sold in the market. Vegetables are sold in the market. Okay. He who buys me cuts off my tail. That could be seen as like a vine, right? But that's who buys it. Cuts off the tail. Potatoes are sold with their tails already off. Carrots? I don't know. A carrot would be closer. Takes off my suit of silk, but then again, they don't have a suit of silk. So what's underground that's taken out, that is silky, but they weep beside me when I am dead? That last one, that really throws me for a loop here. Well, guys, you know what? I think this is an excellent time to go ahead and, I don't know, make a cut. Because I can't think of this room right now, and I'm not going to do it all on camera with you guys. I'll think about this a little bit, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just break out old Steve and get through this door. So yeah, I'd like to thank you so much for joining me once again in my ranty episode of Arena, and until next time, I'd like to ask you all to game on!